Today's video I'm doing is about the SkyQ Mini, and this box connects to your main SkyQ box. This is a slave box. This does not have a hard drive. This is not even connected to the satellite. What this does is connect via network cable or wireless or even power line through the plug socket of the machine if you've got the Sky Broadband hub, the new Q hub I think it's called, and that works via that way. But the best connection to of course go for is the Ethernet one, as the power line is dependent on your electricity cables, the distance as well, and the wireless is all dependent on distance again, as well as the amount of walls that it's going to have to pass through. So your best viewing experience will be through the network cable. Now this box will only work watching live stream TV if the main Q box is online. If the main Q box is either disconnected or doesn't have a satellite feed, it won't work. You can record on this box, but not on this box. It will record on your main box, but you can view it. So the first thing you'll probably notice is this box is tiny in comparison. Now your old Multiroom box may have been either a Sky receiver, the HD receiver, which was small but not as small as this. But if you wanted for recording purposes or watching recordings, you went for something like this, a normal Sky Plus HD box. This is a Sky Plus HD 2TB box, so it has a massive recording space. But obviously you can see the size difference on it. Massive. So you're going to save a lot of space with this new box as well as wiring. Now this new box, if you had previous satellite in Multiroom and you upgrade to this, that frees up a lot of free satellite cables that will run into your old boxes. Now don't get rid of them because they're always handy, especially if you've got wiring already. So if you can go to Amazon or any electric retailer that sells a FreeSat box and connect to that, and you can get free TV as well as you can record on that, and your recordings are yours to keep on the box. You don't have to pay a subscription to Sky to access the hard drive like the FreeSat from Sky does. I went for the hybrid LNB wideband from Sky, and that enabled me to have 6 outputs, which 2 go to the SkyQ and the remaining 4 are spare, but I can use them from my old box, because if you have a SkyQ and you had previously had a Sky Plus HD box, if you still got the box, you can stick the card in it and pair it and it will work, so you can access your old recordings. But you can't use 2 boxes at the same time unless you have 2 subscriptions. So as you can see, it's a lot smaller, so it's gonna be a lot more free up a lot of space. And some people have these boxes in their bedroom, and space sometimes comes at a premium. So the smaller the box, the great. It's when they launched the LCD TVs, how slim they are. So compared to the old CRTs, you saved a lot of space. I mean, this room is about average size for a 1930s house, but because houses in the 30s are much bigger than the ones that they build now, this with the flat screen TV, this room looks massive. So whereas this glass stand now looks massive because the box is now a lot smaller. So anyway, I'm gonna turn on the box now and run it. Okay, so I have to mention that this box can only support 1080p. So if you're thinking that you get a SkyQ and you're going to get 4K viewing in every room, no you're not. You're only going to get it on your main box. So your best bet is to put your SkyQ in a room with a 4K TV, and most people have 1080p TVs or 720p TVs in their house. It's best bet is to connect your your SkyQ Mini to one of those. So, also, what's great about this box is that last time I used this was about 2 weeks ago, and the last channel I was on was sci-fi, and since then I've unplugged this, turned it off, both boxes have been off, and it's remembered what channel it was on, which is great. So as I was saying about Catch Up TV, you go to Catch Up TV, BBC iPlayer, oh, this is interesting. Okay, so that's streaming from the main box to this box. Disconnections between their live stream, so they can't watch their TV on the SkyQ Mini because there seems to be problems of disconnecting and problems of freezing or pausing or all sorts of things like they've been saying. I reckon it's down to their connection, because I've had this. The SkyQ now is connected in the attic, which is, well, or the loft, depending on your terminology. So that's 1, 2, 3. So it's three floors, and counting this one up, and it's connected via a wire cable, and that seems to be working great. So if I just go on to video, so it gives you the full function of the main box, of course, but only at 1080p. But if you've got the SkyQ normal, you only get 1080p anyway. So, yeah. So I'm just going to test the video now. Okay, that seems to work perfectly like it was the master box. Okay. Exit. So like I said, I don't know if I said it before, but everything's mirrored like the main box, so it looks exactly the same. Just going to settings. Sorry. Okay, so in here it's a bit more limited. Alright. But I should be able to access my recordings that I recorded. I press you've got purchases. Yep. So I can run. This basically what this is box is doing is streaming from the main box. So you've got your own internal streaming. So yeah. And what else can I do on this apart from the obvious? So you got all the channels, what's on your subscription of the main box. It acts exactly like Multiroom. The difference is, of course, that you need a main box on for this to work. If you don't have the main box on, it won't work. I mean, I can turn off the main box. So I'm just going to pause and come back. Okay, so I've got someone that turn off the main box down upstairs, and that's what happens. You can't watch TV at the moment, a connectivity problem. However, nope, that don't work either. So, like I said, when the box is off, this is basically as useless, as useful as one brick. Sure, you can build something with it, but without the rest of the bricks and the cement, it's useless. That doesn't work. Can I switch to channels? Yep. So it seems to know what's on TV. So I'll go to the TV guide. Yeah, it's still got... This may have been what it downloaded. But of course, because you haven't... Actually, I don't think that's going to work though. Nah. It's probably just remembering it from cache memory, possibly. So, like I said, this box is useless without the other one. So I'm going to plug the other one back in. This is a problem a lot of people have been finding when they have wireless as well, that if they haven't got a stable connection, this sort of thing happens, and this is why they're moaning. But it can all be resolved if you just used a sodding wire. It's wired internet. Wired internet's always better than wireless or even power line, because power line, yeah, it's better than wireless, but it's not as great as a straight direct connection. I'm using a switch, so this isn't even like a cable going from one end downstairs to the upstairs in the attic to the SkyQ box. It's using I've set it up so I've got sockets in here. I've got a switch in the central part of the house, and then that sends loads of cables between that box to another switch, and also there is a cable from there, temporary at the moment because I'm getting the loft redone, because the builder, cowboy, no installation, cold, can't sleep up there during the winter, and I can't sleep up there during the summer, because in the summer it's a heat box, in the winter it's a freezer. So when I do that, I'm going to put another switch in the new loft, in the actual the where you've got what they call a storage hatch, and basically on the far corner of the house, of the side, I'm going to put a switch and racks and have it properly all set up. But downstairs, almost completed it, and if you watch my previous video on the network switch that I recently purchased to expand my network, that's obviously, you can know a little bit more about that. So I'm using a network switch. I've got BT broadband and everything's wired and it all works great. And like I said, if you've got a problem with your box, it's likely your wiring, your connection, because there's no problem with this. It's very reliable. Only time it stopped working was when I disconnected the box upstairs. Other than that, it's been working perfect. So, but like I said, this box is just a slave box, and if you're thinking about switching to SkyQ from Sky HD and you got a multi-room subscription, you might find this is a bit of a downgrade because you need two boxes on at the same time, whereas, you know, someone's messing around with a downstairs box, it doesn't affect you at all on your separate box. Only that if someone messes around with the dish, of course you're going to have a problem. But with the Sky Plus, like I said, it's completely separate system. All the boxes are all separate. They don't interlink at all, apart from that they may share the same satellite feed from the satellite. But you could easily install another dish and run your box separately from that if you wanted to on the old Sky Plus box system. So yeah, so I hope that you found this video informative, and hope this may have answered some of your questions on how does the SkyQ Mini work, and you know, basically whether or not you want to upgrade to the SkyQ. If you don't like this feature where you have to have both boxes on at the same time, I don't think you should upgrade to the SkyQ. I think you should stay with the Sky Plus HD as long as you can, because this probably will bite you in the end. And also, the fact is that you're using one hard drive on the box, a 2 terabyte one. You could easily fill that by having an additional 2 mini boxes connected to it, as well as you can use 2 iPads or iPad and a phone, or 2 phones, or whatever. As long as it's got the SkyQ app, you can connect. So basically 4 additional devices can be connected. But you can actually have more Sky Minis, but they can't be on all at the same time. You can only have 2 on at a time. Like the phones, you can only have 2 on at the time. So they put limitations on that. And what it is the box has, I think it's 6 tuners. At the moment, only 5 are being used. So if you record a program on this, you're using 1 tuner, and you can watch. And as well as the main box, you can record how many programs. But I don't know if, because I've never done it, if you use up all your tuners, can the SkyQ Mini still work? I don't think it can, because you're using up all your satellite feeds, so that you can't view. But how SkyQ works is that even one of the tuners is being used to power this. So basically this is a window, but obviously it's not being used on the Sky Mini. This would normally work, and you could see a glimpse of where the program is at. So if you're watching a program and you've got commercials, you can see exactly where, if the program's back on yet, or whereabouts it is so where you want to start watching it from. So, but with the SkyQ Mini, it doesn't work. So the tuner's used on the main box, but for here, I guess you've just got access to 1 tuner, maybe 2, 1 to watch and 1 to record, and that's it. I haven't fully tested the whole box yet, because there is a lot of features to use, and obviously testing them takes time as well. So that might be a follow-up video. Well, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.